arm had been critically impaired caused by the slashing by Mr. Nazri, that injury falls squarely under section 320 para E of the Penal Code. So this particular provision stipulates for the definition of grievous hurt, and the hurt that was suffered by Mr. Gurcharan Singh falls squarely under physical and permanent impairment of the limb. So conclusively, these findings should show that the prosecution's case that there is element of mens rea for Encik Nazri. Now, secondly, for the second element of mens rea, similarly, the prosecution have proved that Mr. Nazri had caused the slashing of his parang to Mr. Gurcharan Singh with the criminal intention. So from the facts of the case, we understood that Encik Nazri was seen waiting outside the Pasaraya for to confront the victim, which would indicate that the offence was actually premeditated. It was prepared. He had a particular preparation in doing this crime. So other than that, the accused was reported by the witness to have fled from the car. So the scene properly after slashing the victim, which shows that he would know that what he did was actually an offence and punishable by law. So essentially, similarly to the actus reus, the mens rea was also proven from the facts of the case. So essentially, this would be as such, counsels. The prosecution will rely on these two main limbs in constituting that there was a criminal offence made by Encik Nazri.
Tuan DPP, we object to the contention brought by the prosecution. Our client's action is not voluntarily. Hence the requirement of mens rea under the provision is not fulfilled.
Why did you say so, counsel?
Because during that evening, he was provoked by the victim. So his sole intention, his only intention, just to chase him away and not to injure him. And the injury was not done voluntarily.
Are you sure it was not voluntary?
One, the injury is bad. However, it was not his intention to do that. He was provoked by the victim, and clearly that's the only reason why he did that.
So my apologies for making any misunderstanding here, counsels. So, sure, Mr. Hazen, if that is your version of the story, then we will surely take note of that.
Yes, again, just to reaffirm, we do not agree that mens rea has been fulfilled. My client did not cause this injury voluntarily.
Perfect. Now that we have narrowed down the issues in contention, we of the prosecution is in the opinion that we can proceed to clarify each other's position on this matter. So firstly, as the prosecution, we believe that this case should be a prima facie case, since the facts indicated as such. The Encik Nazri had been witnessed to have slashed the parang to the victim and caused injury to the victim's left ear and left arm, and also fled away from the crime scene. So these facts should constitute proper evidences that there was a criminal act from a criminal intention.
In addition, the offence is supported with a statement given by the eyewitnesses at the crime scene that you, Encik Nazri, has already held onto the parang before proceeding to yell and slash the victim.
One DPP, we have to disagree on the thought of the prosecution on the status of the case being prima facie. And as stated earlier, this is because the element of mens rea is not proven. There is still a loophole in determining the intention of our client, and details of determining the intention still have a very long way to scrutinize. Our client, he has repeatedly again mentioned that he did not have the intention to cause such injuries. Therefore, the element of voluntary action is yet to be proven by the prosecution, which is required under section 326 of the Penal Code.
Yes, what we see from the facts that you have just cited is that there is no clear indication of any intention to cause injury to the victim. So we say that there is no mens rea, and subsequently, absolutely there was no prima facie for this case.
Yes, for the next 100 times, I did not have any intention to cause injury to the victim. I just confront him for rebuking me in the public, and also as a warning that he should not indulge himself with other people's business. You know, what did I do so wrong? He deserved that.
Okay, I hope you maintain your patience, Encik Nazri. We are merely stating the issues in contention and clarifying our position here. I'm sure that your trusted defense counsels here will do their very best in ensuring that assertions are true. But to ensure that this pre-trial conference goes along smoothly, I hope you will calm yourself and preserve the smooth sailing of this conference. Thank you so much. So very well. Now that we have clarified our position, we have understood your contention of the defense, and we hope that the defense will call their witnesses to prove these contentions as true.
Yeah, of course, Tuan VP, we are going to do that.
So now we shall proceed with discussing on the documents to be tendered in this case. So take note that pursuant to the law, section 51A of the Criminal Procedure Code to be exact, the prosecution is obliged to deliver the relevant documents in this case to the attention of the defense counsel in ensuring that the right of the accused is clearly maintained. So the documents, the interested documents are as we shall enlist for your kind perusal.
First, the charge sheet. Mr. Harris, anything you want to say?
Yes, a few seconds. Okay. Based on this charge sheet, Encik Nazri has been charged with voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or means under section 326 of the Penal Code. Am I correct?
Yes, that will be okay.
And if he is found guilty, he will be liable to the punishment of imprisonment for a term which may extend to 20 years and with fine or whipping.
Not this again. I hate to repeat this.
Encik Nazri, listen up. The prosecution, they are here to lay down the case, and we are here to defend him. So let's do the talking, alright?
Okay, fine.
Thank you so much for your reprimand, defense counsel. Thank you for your patience, Encik Nazri. So now let us proceed with the second document, which would relate to the first information report dated 9th March 2022.
Thank you.
So this report, for your kind attention, was made by a cashier, which would be made as a witness in our case. He's a cashier on duty at Pasaraya Sunhuat Sdn at that time. So this person saw the situation between the accused and the victim, Encik Nazri and Encik Gucharan Singh. So after seeing that Encik Nazri slashed Encik Gucharan, he immediately called for the police and lodged a proper police report at IPD Gombak.
Tuan DPP, is it correct that the call was made to IPD Gombak on March 9,
Yes, as stated.
2022 at around 1 p.m?
Yes, that would be accurate, Mr. Counsel.
Okay, the next document is the prosecution list of witnesses. On the prosecution side, we have 4 witnesses in this case. How about the witness from the defense side?
As of now, we only intend to call the accused and the accused's wife. We will notify if we want to add another witness later.
Tuan DPP, just in case, do you have the witness statement?
Yeah, surely. We bring it to your attention. Thank you for reminding. It would be compiled in within this.
Alright, thank you.
Yes. Other than that, another document that we wish to tender, it would be the medical report from HKL, which is also dated on the same date when the altercation began, 9th March 2022. So it shows that the grievous injuries that were suffered by the victim, and it was located at his left arm and left ear as reported. It was caused by a sharp object.
Okay, we take note of this medical report. Do you have any other documents, Tuan Puan?
Yes, the next document are fingerprint analysis and urine test result from the forensic department, Hospital Kuala Lumpur.
What does this analysis actually suggest?
The fingerprint on the parang is same as Encik Nazri fingerprint. And as regard to the accused urine test, there's no illegal substance was found.
Of course there are none. You think I'm a drug addict now?
And the last document for this case is the CCTV footage. Okay, from the recording, it can be seen that the accused and the victim were talking. And during the second footage, the accused began to slash victim's left arm and ear.
Alright, Puan UP. As of now, we agree with all the evidence standard by the prosecution today. However, we do have objections as to the authenticity of the contents of the documents. Just take note of that.
Yes, we should take note of those attentions. Well then, moving forward, we will continue the discussion on the nature of the case for the prosecution and the defense.
Based on our previous discussion, the prosecution has to prove that the element of actus and mens rea of the accused had been proven. I repeat, your client has been charged with voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or means under section 326 of the Penal Code, and your client may be sentenced to imprisonment up to 20 years and fine or whipping. defense counsel, do you want to bring any possible defense for your client?
Yes, of course, one DPP. As mentioned earlier, we strongly deny the element of mens rea has been fulfilled. We would like to bring that the element of mens rea is not fulfilled due to the defense of sudden provocation.
So do you have any evidence to support your?
Yes, actually we have two evidence that we would like to tender. Firstly, from the witness, the oral evidence from the witness that states that there was actually a provocation and some sort of that. And secondly, we do have CCTV footage that was just shown earlier. What we are going to prove is that there was a provocation from the victim that led our client to do what he did.
Well, look, we make sure to take note of those two evidences. Next, after our discussion is on whether your client would like to enter into a plea bargain for this offence.
Now what? Plea bargaining? Can someone explain to me?
Yeah, sure. Alright, Encik Nazri. Plea bargaining simply means that we can negotiate with Tuan and Puan DPP for a lesser punishment with the prosecution for you if you agree to plead guilty to this charge. And in case you agree to this plea bargaining, you are required to fill in the application in form 28A to affirm that you plead.
Oh, okay, Counsel. I get it. I hope that I can leave this prison as soon as possible.
Okay, Encik Nazri, now that you have understood what plea bargaining is, so I will read the charge to you once again. That you, Nazri Effendi bin Muhammad Yusri, IC number 800103145051, on 9 March 2022 at about 12:45 PM at the parking lot of Pasar Yusun Heights, Sdn Bhd, 22 Jalan Bersatu 8, Taman Bersatu 48000, Rawang Gombak, has voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapon or means to Gucharan Singh, son of Bishan Singh, IC number 870120106335, by using a parang and causing injury to his left ear and left arm. Therefore, you have committed an offence under Section 326 of the Penal Code and could be sentenced to imprisonment for a term which may extend to 20 years and with fine or whipping. Do you understand the charge? I read to you, Encik Nazri.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Now that I have understood both the concept of plea bargaining and the charge that was read to you by Puan Faiha, do you wish to continue with a plea bargain?
Mr. DPP, our client will only plead guilty if the prosecution can amend the charge to voluntary causing hurt under Section 324 of the Penal Code.
Counsels, we think that it is quite hard to amend the charge from Section 326 to Section 324, based on the facts that your client had committed a grievous offence since he used a dangerous weapon that can cause death to the victim. And this victim suffered very severe injuries on his left ear and arm due to his act.
Yes, we understand that, but even putting that aside, our client pleads that there are other mitigating factors present. Firstly, the accused, he never had a prior history of violence. We do concede that he may have anger issues, but he never in his lifetime lashed out to or hurt even anyone. This should be a strong point of mitigation as the accused has learned from his mistake, and I can assure you that this will never happen again.
So I rely on the fact that the accused was stated to have anger issues, Encik Nazri. So, in lines to this, are you sure that he will not repeat the same offence? He might be committing the same offence to other people, and worse, to his own family. In addition to this fact, we repeat that Encik Nazri had committed the offence in the right mind, in the basis that he had fled with his car after slashing